What's up, guys? Welcome Memorial here. I just wanted to recap on all the events that happened today. Um, Basically, today, I actually crossed over to Georgia. That was a blessing. I was like, praise God, my very first state transaction. When I got into Georgia, I ended up, as I ended up walking, I got to meet like a director of the Gideons, and I thought he was really cool. And he was like, "Man, can I take your picture and things like this?" And so I was like, "Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Just I let him know to pray and be ready." And I told him, that it's all about Jesus and things like this. You know what I'm saying? That's what. So I went ahead and told him, man. He was like shaking my hand and stuff and blessing me and you know what I'm saying, and he even prayed for me and stuff like this. And I thought that was awesome. And he says, well, I'm about to have a convention over in South Carolina. I'm like, well, that's amazing. He said, well, all of South Carolinian Gideons, he said, are going to know about you and going to be praying for you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. But, and then I was like, just let them know that what Jesus said, pray and be ready for the coming of Christ. And so, and then we shook hands, hugged each other, and, I went my way and he went his. Then I go, the next like couple of encounters were just like quick stops, and they were just like one of them was like just awesome job, and he kept going like because there was traffic right behind him. He was like awesome job, and I'm like okay, you know what I'm saying, and just went about my day. And then like a couple of them just come up real quick and was just like, what's this about? And I told them real fast, like, I try to shorten my story for those who are on the road and trying to get going. So it's like, God let me be a walking memorial before him, and he gave me a message to tell, to pray and be ready for the coming of Christ. And, that's just like the quick gist for those who are on the go, stuff like that. So, but the coolest thing was, I took a different route from what my GPS said because it took me through a town, and that's what I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to get a hotel room early on in the day so I could go do some laundry and things like this. But ironically, the first hotel I went to, they said they were all booked up. So I said okay. So I went on down the street and came to another one. And when I went to this one, I was like, Lord, I don't know if I should go to this one. It seemed, kind of a bit pricey for what I had. And, of course, I went ahead and got it anyway. And in doing so, I waited in the lobby for the maintenance guy, which also was an awesome encounter. He ended up encountering me as a Christian. He was a Christian. But anyway, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I was sitting in the lobby, and there was a young man, well, a little younger than me, but um, he was. I started to talk with him. He had a backpack on like I did. He was like, I said, man, you look like a traveler. And he's like, well, kind of. And then, long story short, man, he travels all over the world. And I didn't get his name then or nothing like that. And I didn't even get a chance to witness at that time, you know what I'm saying? So we ended up parting ways. He went up to his thing, his room, and I and that's when the maintenance guy came up to me and was like, "Hey man, what's up?" And I said, "My cross is out here. I need somewhere to put it because it's an inn. It's not a motel. I just can't take it to my room. I can't bring it through the lobby. You know what I'm saying?" So not only that, he takes it to his area. And as soon as he gets there, he's like, "Man, what's the word, brother?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, man?" He opens a Bible he has there every day. He does a daily devotional and everything. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was awesome. And his name is Scott. And so that was just a blessing. So I mean, me and him got to minister to each other, and that was pretty cool. And we're gonna talk to each other again tomorrow, whenever I get to get my cross. But then all of a sudden, I was like, you know what? I come up to my room, oh, super tired, didn't want to go do anything yet. But I was like, man, I gotta go do this laundry. So I get up and I go to do the laundry. And as I'm going, some guy ends up random. I won't even carry my cross. Some guy randomly says, "Hey man, you need a ride?" I'm like, "Yeah man, I'm just going to the laundromat right up the road." And he said, "Yeah, hop in." And he takes me there. I get to witness to them, minister to them, and bless them. And then when I get there, oh, he offered me a ride to Indiana, by the way, and I was like, "Man, I can't do it, but I got to walk it." So I mean, but anyway, when I get there, um, I go to do my laundry, and I was talking to some lady there, but she really stood standoffish, like she didn't really want to talk to me. So I kind of like just kept my non creepy distance. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, who walks in? That traveler guy. He's like, "Hey man, what's up?" And I'm like, "What's up, buddy?" And that's when he ended up telling me that he travels all over the world and stuff like this. and the Lord sit literally, it's just us two in that laundromat at that time. God allowed me to be able to share my new little found, um, what is it, gain pods, because he didn't bring no washing powder. So I was like, here, man, use all you need. But anyway, we ended up sharing stories. But man, I got to witness to him over and over and over different stories of what's happened to me since I've known Christ and things like this. And he was like, whoa, man, I've never had anything like that happen to me. Because he thinks of himself as a spiritual and everything is like energetic and has energy and stuff. But anyway, I just shared the love of Christ, man. That's it. And man, he was like eating it up. You know, you could see like he was just, man, that's crazy. You know, like he was just eating it up. But then I tried to pray for him. He didn't want me to pray for him, so I was like, all right, that's cool, man, no big deal, and stuff like this. So I just pray. I mean, if he travels all over the world, he's been to France, I mean, everywhere, man. Like, wow, he told me all kinds of places. Um, France. I mean, just hold on. There was like several places because he's like big in like some industrial stuff, and he's a young fella. But I can't think of all the places, man. But he's been all over the world, China. I mean, just all over the place. So he's a traveler, and I'm just praying that God lets that seed grow inside of him. You know what I'm saying? I never got it. I was hoping to be able to open the door, maybe even lead him to Christ, but I didn't see it opening. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I kept trying and trying, but I didn't want to like push him away, but I knew the boundary. I knew the boundary, and it was going so smoothly. So God really blessed it, and just like I said, his name is Diego. So keep lifting him up in prayers. I don't know his last name, I have no idea, and just pray for him. That was pretty much the very last encounter I had of the day. I ended up coming back in my room, getting everything settled in, getting a shower, getting cleaned up. I got a few little packing things I got to do and get ready for the big walk tomorrow because the walk tomorrow is going to be probably a longer walk than I had today. And I've come to realize I can walk a mile in 15 minutes if I keep a steady pace. Just saying. Little fun fact for today. But anyway, guys. Oh, and by the way, talking about the Gideons. Boom! Gideons in the hotel. Awesome, man. Awesome. But anyway, much love, guys, and y'all be blessed. And that's what's happened today. And we'll just see what tomorrow brings, and hopefully, just pray that the Lord blesses tomorrow and see what happens. All right, guys. Much love. Y'all be blessed.